This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio is brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Centre, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. JMB Cycle and Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment. And Silver Wax, absolute care for everything you drive. I said they'll let the crowd in. Somebody let the crowd in? Is there any? Somebody open the door for the crowd to come in?
It's not working. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's okay.
Welcome to the program. I'm going to talk
me.
like
Sometimes I
I'm
don't work.
uninspired right now.
Hey, I heard some Christmas music there.
Chris, we have the hats on because this is our final show before the holiday season, and we thought, why not? Why the hell not?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love Christmas.
And I was expecting, because we announced that this was the pre-Christmas show that we'd have a large live audience.
Well, the audience heard that.
Oh, so they decided not to come.
They're not here, but they were in post.
Oh, they were in post.
They were in post.
Oh, all righty then.
You're going to look like the fool that can't hear, Ange, because it's going to be all loud and clear in there. It's just you saying, what the hell's going on here? And they say, oops, sorry.
God, I love this.
Can't hear this.
I love this company. I love this business. I just love everything.
See, because we're real, buddy. Just think about we're real compared to all them other TV shows that are bullshit.
Welcome to the program, Outdoor Journal Radio, the podcast. He is Peter Bowman.
Hi.
Angelo Viola right here. We have Nikki V in the corner.
Hello.
Finally back from a long, long time off. And over here we have Dean Taylor.
Come on now.
Everybody's sporting the Christmas hats. The Santa
Everybody's
hats.
got the Christmas hats on. And why shouldn't they?
Absolutely.
'Tis the season,
I
my friend.
love Santa. I love Christmas.
And
I
there's
love everything
the
about
lovely
Christmas.
Countess. She doesn't have her hat on. Why is that?
She's like the best thing on Christmas for around here. She just keeps
Oh,
the
yeah.
spirit, all
Absolutely.
flowing, happy, and
Well,
positive.
she's got the red
absolutely.
hair.
She's just a mountain of joy. Just an absolute mountain of joy.
Okay.
All right. Wonderful program. Did I mention that? A wonderful show because today we're going to be previewing the 40th season, which is
Come on now.
it's about to embark on the. I think the second Saturday of January. That was moved, by the way.
crazy,
Somebody know why that happened? Does anybody know what's going on with that?
Just for our audience, the audience wanted it later.
Later?
They requested it. They don't.
So-
right out
Nobody watches
the
it on
holiday,
New Year's.
yeah, the New Year's and all that. So we
Okay.
thought, you know what? We listened to our people, and our people spoke, and done.
How's my hat look, by the way?
You're good. You look
Is it
like
good?
you look like Foster Brooks.
I wonder how many people remember that name.
No, I bet you they won't. You got to look it up. Foster Brooks.
Oh, he was
Oh my
excellent.
God, he played an absolute drunk of all drunks, and he was the best. You would swear this
was
guy was
drunk.
drunk. He
Yeah,
was so good at it.
yeah.
Oh my God, look it up. Any old skits you can see from him.
He was on Roland and Martin. Rowan and Martin Laugh-In.
Yeah, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
And then he
Yeah.
went on. I think he made
Did some skits on
Did
his
he
own,
not
yeah.
make? I think one of the funniest. Yes, one of the funniest cameos he ever made was on the Dean Martin show. You remember the Dean Martin show?
Yeah, because Dean was always drunk.
Exactly.
It was
exactly.
the roast. Right? It was a
Exactly.
roast, right?
No, he had
Or-
he had a show. He
Oh,
had a
right.
variety
Like
show.
a talk show.
Anyways,
Yeah.
his special guest one night was Foster Brooks.
Oh my God.
And it was hilarious. Anyways,
I remember one. I'll give a
Enough of
quick
that.
story. I remember one night I got in shit when I lived at home. I got in shit with
No.
Gordy, and I was in good shit, and it was very quiet. You know the tension in the room when your kid just gets shit, and your old man is pissed, and he deservedly he was pissed. And I remember I was watching. I was laying on the couch, and Foster Brooks came on the TV. Well. I'm supposed to be serious, and I was
Exactly.
laughing my frickin' ass and hiding it from my dad so bad. Now I don't know if he was laughing too or whatever like that, but I could not help myself. I was dying, tears coming out of my eyes, and the old man was just ready to pounce on me and kill me.
I don't think anybody's ever since then ever really done that, taken
drunk-
on that persona.
That's a good point.
Right?
I
You would
wonder-
think somebody else would have through the years
Yeah.
picked up on that. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be the drunken comedian. Because nobody, I mean, it was unique then and it is unique now. You guys,
Well, you got Joey Diaz, but he's more than drunk. He's just a bit of a psychopath.
oh,
He's just all the time.
No, Foster was just
You knew it.
portrayed a guy who was totally wasted,
Oh, and he did a good job.
and he was just excellent.
Oh my God.
Leahy.
Leahy? But it's not. It's a
That's
different.
not
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
That's more of a role.
No, but it's still the same
But
idea.
still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Leahy, there were times where he wasn't drunk, right?
Yep. Yeah,
But
especially
Foster Brook-
earlier in the season, then
Right,
they got him to drunk
right.
every day. But I'll tell you what, anybody's a fan of Leahy, Trailer Park Boys, and Leahy drunk, that's nothing because he wasn't even good compared to Foster Brooks. Not even close. Leahy was good, but Foster Brooks was the best ever.
Burp.
Yeah, the burps. Anyway,
Hey, sorry.
Okay, sorry about that.
So today we're going to talk about the 40th season that will be premiering early January, right across the nation and on all the specialty channels and everything else where you normally watch it. But before we do that, want to remind folks, it might be a little bit too late. No, let me take that back. It is definitely too late to be going to the Fishing Canada store for merch for Christmas.
How long does it take to get delivered? Nick, how long does it take to get delivered?
Well, it
Can
depends.
you get an
on-
express?
You can, if you order the right things, you could get it within 3 days.
Okay, well, 3 days from now is Christmas. I hate to tell you.
Is that
Well, you know what?
Pretty much.
Sometimes, you could go like Orthodox Christmas. That's January 8th, I
right.
think. So,
Anyways, that
it-
doesn't mean-
And if you go around the last calendar year, you might be able to do a backup to Christmas 26.
That
And,
doesn't
you can order
mean
in time for Christmas.
That doesn't mean that you can't buy merch anyways. For those of you who did your merch purchasing prior to Christmas, hopefully everything got delivered okay. And hopefully when the gifts are opened, the recipients of wonderful things like the Fishing Canada Classic hoodie. This is the two-tone version. This comes in black as well.
And
comes
red
in
and
red.
gray.
And the
Red
other
and gray.
two-tone, red gray, is my
It's
favorite.
Christmassy, very Christmassy.
I should have worn that.
And
Yeah,
speaking
but
of
that's
Christmassy, we have, as of airing, the Christmas deals on. So
There's Christmas deals.
There's
So the-
Christmas deals up and down the flow.
So
Okay.
there you go. So those that
Perfect.
missed out on timing wise, you
Perfect.
might get a better price than ever.
And,
you never know.
they'll last all the way to the 31st. So you can,
Oh
you can
my.
always like you didn't get someone a Christmas gift and you should have, and then you go, oh no, you can order it, and then you'll get it eventually.
Is it too late for them to, what if somebody listening to us right now is in panic mode because they meant to get somebody, a loved one, one of these hoodies or a Fishing Canada toque or whatever, and now they're in panic state that we reminded them. Can they get some kind of a gift certificate that they could put under the tree? Like, can we do that electronically? That they could?
We can do that. I also can beat the package up a little bit for you, make it look like Canada Post lost it. And that way it's not your fault. Just add it in your order notes. Be like, I need you to beat this thing up a little bit for me.
Beat it, Nick. Beat it,
I'll
Nick.
I'll
That's
take
what
care
they're
of it
gonna
for you.
say.
And
Forget
if
about it.
anybody is good at beating it,
Nick,
would
it would be the champ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm a master fisherman, a master
Exactly.
baiter, and a master package deliverer.
There you
You
go.
got that right.
You got her all, buddy.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad. But if somebody wants a gift certificate, could they contact the store and say, please issue me a...
They can, yeah. We
Okay.
can offer that. It's not something we outwardly offer.
But we would...
Well, the 3 days
but
before
you know
Christmas,
what? Like,
that's,
if you really wanted it, of
course.
you
Just-
can write in, send us an email, give me a phone call. You'll probably end up talking to Joe if you call the office, but Joe will give you over to me. Joe and I are good like that.
Okay. And
And,
so you'll
yeah,
issue them an official gift certificate that they can, in fact, put under the tree, and somebody can open it up and
They
have
could
the
frame
same
it.
joy.
They could really frame it if they wanted.
They could do that, and we'll make that happen. For you.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Look at you
So
guys,
it
eh?
all is not lost. is
It
what I'm
still
trying
can
to say.
happen. It can
All right.
still happen. There you go.
Moving on, listener feedback.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is in response to our reading of
G Fears.
G Fears. Do you remember
Yes.
that?
Don't remember the name.
No, G Fears comment
I like it,
about.
though. It's a good name.
I don't remember that.
So I think you guys did it at Lodge 88. It was you and Steve. And
Excuse me. Oh,
Ah,
you
that's
guys,
see.
Yeah, you guys talked about. He wrote in saying that no one buys sport fishing license, or no
buys.
Yeah, nobody
No.
buys sport fishing license.
Right, they're all
anymore.
buying conservation, or the percentages were out of whack, like 80-20
Yeah.
conservation versus sport. And we said, wow, that's great. That's, wow, I wasn't aware of that, and that's good. That was kind of the gist of that
Yeah,
piece,
yeah.
right?
Right, which on the surface is kind of good in a sense, right? People keeping less and more conservation minded, right? That's what you're
So
ultimately
anyways,
looking
it's
at.
GFears24 via YouTube.
GFear24. Okay,
At GFears24 via YouTube is the one who's making this particular comment in response to the
That
show.
particular
particular
comment.
one. Is that right? Did I get that
That's
right?
right. It's,
You're
it's
good.
a comment
You're good, buddy.
responding to your comment on his comment.
Exactly.
Oh, the triple comment. That's
Yeah.
a scenario. I got it now. It's like a card trick.
Because the way it's written here would mislead me. It certainly misled me because it says, in response to our reading of G Fear's comment about not many sport fishing licenses being sold anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah,
would
it's
that would
that's
lead
right.
me to believe that the originator of this comment was G Fears.
It was.
And then we responded to it.
Yes.
Then G Fears via YouTube.
Yep, that's all right.
Am I good
That's
so
all
far?
correct, yeah.
So this at GFears24 via YouTube is a response to the G Fears comment that we read at Lodge 88.
So he wrote in, you responded. Now he's coming back with another response.
Right. So he's responding to, in a roundabout way, he's responding to himself.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a tear down comments.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's
Trickle
what
down
I thought.
effect. Yeah.
Because at first I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
You got her now, kid?
I think so.
You happy?
Thank you for reading my comment, Ange. For context, I work at, this is good, a Canadian store that sells tires.
There you go. I think I know that place.
They also sell silver wax, in case you were interested.
Oh.
A little plug there.
Good
Give
one,
me the
buddy.
little...
Good.
Thank you.
Good one.
In a small town at the southern end of Huron County, the Au River bisects our town. I think the ratio might... So he was originally the one who told us it was like 80-20.
Yeah, because he's the one selling the licenses.
Right. Makes sense. Might largely depend on the water quality of the bodies of water. So then if I can take this in its true context, what he's saying is that here in this jurisdiction, that split is 80-20. But the reason being, and he goes on to tell us, the water quality is diminished to a point where the variety of species is just not there available anymore. In fact, there's only one or two species of coarse fish left to fish for, and therefore he thinks that the water quality is the reason why people aren't buying the consumption portion of the license and buying just the conservation portion.
That's the way I'm
So
taking
he's
it
trying to
too, so-
clarify it. He's trying to say, hey, listen, I didn't mean to tell you the whole country's gone catch and release, because that's what we were applauding. That's what Stephen, mind me while I'm just adjusting my Santa hat here. It was a little uncomfortable.
Looks good.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
It just felt bad. You got to feel good or is it you got to look good to feel good? What did that guy used to say, Montavon? It is better to look good than it is to feel good. Remember him?
No, but
Ricardo Montalban?
Ricardo.
There was a
I agree with the
commercial
statement, though. Is it about the Cordoba?
Spoof.
The Chrysler Cordoba or something like
It's
that?
better to, anyways. I digress.
We're going back all day today. Lots of
Basically,
old
G
school.
Fears is saying, hey, don't, go patting yourself on the back here or anything else. I believe the reason that those numbers are the way they are in this jurisdiction is because, in fact, the quality of our fishery has declined to a point where there's not much worth fishing for around here that is consumable. And so, therefore,
It
people
makes sense, too. What he's saying makes sense
so
in
people
that
only,
area.
they only fish one place. So people are buying a fishing license to fish in one place.
No, I'm saying he's saying in that
Yeah.
area, the Saskatchewan River, probably other rivers around there, and that maybe he's got more waters than just the Asable, right? Like Huron, I would think the quality is half decent, but it's a great lake. Maybe there's the fears of mercury levels there too. I don't know. To me, it just sounds like it makes sense to, especially to the occasional angler that wants to eat fish and don't mind fishing, and I really want to eat fish. But if it's shit fish, it's shit quality, do I fish at all? Or
But does that mean that those anglers are just
meat
local
eaters?
angler? They don't stray outside of their jurisdiction to fish.
That could be. I'm not saying that, but it certainly could be. There are some people that just want to fish close to home. They don't have.
I wonder how many people are like that. I'd be good. There's an interesting one to throw out there.
Yeah,
I wonder how many
within
people.
a little
I wonder how many
circumference.
people restrict themselves to fishing just in their home lake or their home waters.
I'm almost the opposite. Like I never fish where I buy the license. Like I buy a license in Oshawa. I used to buy it in Georgetown. I've never fished. I mean, I rarely fish those areas.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet, what G. Fears is saying is that's why he thinks that's happening there. Now he goes on to say, go ahead,
He'd be talking to the customers too, right?
Yeah.
He is selling the licenses and all that, so he might have even more, intel as to the feel of it or whatever. Huh?
He goes on to say that when he was a kid, some 40 years ago, blue-green algae wouldn't shoot up until late August, early September. Now it's showing up by mid-May due to all the manure runoff from the farmers' fields in the area.
He's right about that one too.
Yeah.
That the
I
runoff is
thought we
huge.
put a stop to all that. No?
It's manure, right? I mean,
No, but they
how
have
do
to
you
be
stop?
a certain distance back.
No, I think still runoff eventually. You know what I mean? Like you've got water flows downhill, shit flows downhill. They both flow downhill, buddy. And payday's on Thursday.
No one keeps fish here if they fish here in town. The only places I've seen them keep some is places with far cleaner water, like the Bayfield River and the Maitland River in Huron County, and the Upper Thames that runs through St. Mary's towards the south.
So wow. Obviously, there's a. I'm wondering now. That's interesting too. Is the Bayfield, Maitland, and Thames, Upper Thames, are they being maintained better? You know what I mean? They're stopping because obviously this blue-green algae and all that kind of stuff is due to all the fertilizer. Maybe they have stopped it in that area. Maybe they're trying to keep these pristine, and this one they're just saying asable. Who gives a shit about it? I mean, that's a problem too, right? If they can keep it, if they can clean it up, which I think they can clean a river up if they had to, right? If they could, the conservation.
It's happened.
Yeah, it's happened with us. So
lots
they
of
could do
cases.
that, and ultimately, it's better for everything. It's better for the environment. It's better for the licensed anglers. It's better for people that want to catch a little brown trout and eat it. It goes a long ways, right? So
Huge.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that is.
Anyway, thank you very much for sending that in.
And it goes to like Dean was talking about earlier, the Bay
wait,
of Quinte.
there's more?
Well, just think about the Bay of Quinte. People quote, "You can't eat fish out of the Bay of Quinte," or "It's joined to Lake Ontario. You can't eat fish out of there." Well, ultimately you can eat some fish out of there. They're saying not to eat a lot, but a lot of people hear that first part of that, and that's it. I'm buying a conservation only if I want to go fish, catch, and release, if anything, or I'm not going fishing at all. I'm not even going to go there. Right?
Now we're jumping to
Unfortunately.
conclusions though with this whole thing.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
all doom and gloom, and it's fine, but we have no.
It's just
There's
his
no
opinion.
science
This is
involved.
just his opinion.
Right.
And he
There's no
states
science.
that.
I'll tell you though, we do have science in front of us when it regards to invasive species.
No.
We have lots of science there, and the Invasive Species Center has all that information for you, especially as it pertains to the ever looming problem of grass carp. Thank you.
Ever looming. I thought with that looming, it might be a nice place for that.
You want a loon? I mean, you could do loons too. He's got everything on it, right?
Got loons on there,
Oh, the
Dave?
buttons aren't working. It's all.
Oh, the
closed.
buttons aren't
You
working
said
today.
ever
Yeah.
looming. I thought you said ever looming. You said ever looning. Okay.
The threat of the grass carp taking over our waterways is very real now that we've discovered that there have been arguably up to 34 or 35 incidences where they have been caught in Canadian waters, in our waters, Great Lakes. And so it's more than just a fairy tale. It's very real. They're here. And now, more importantly than ever before, that we establish some kind of a defensive system. And the best way to do that is to get knowledge about this critter. Everything you need to know, you should have locked in your possession at all times when you're out in the water, because nobody spends as much time on the water as anglers. So we can be the best defense against this. We need to know everything there is to know about this critter. Find it all at invasivespeciescenter.com. No,
InvasiveCarp.ca.
Carp.ca. I was close.
You were there.
That's the Invasive Species Center.
Exactly.
That's what I meant.
their
I wanted
center.
to do them both in one.
just gets confusing, right? Our people, they like it specifically laid out perfectly and not really mumble jumbled like we do. Hack the shit out of everything.
Invasive, we make fun, but that's because that's what we do. But it's very serious. Invasivecarp.ca is where you need to go. Find out about the grass carp. Arm yourself with that info. This year coming, whichever
This
would
coming
be
year, I
correct.
think.
Either way.
Yeah, either way, yeah.
Make sure
AC/DC. AC/DC. There you go.
You get to do that. It's a Christmas show.
AC/DC is one of my favorite rock and roll bands. It's alternating current versus direct current.
Did I hear something about them just recently?
Oh, they're probably going on tour again.
Yeah, they're going to Toronto next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were all dead.
No, it's
They
only
look
dead.
close.
Don't. So the original singer, Bon Scott, died a long time ago.
That's what I thought.
And then, is it Malcolm Young? One of the guitar players just passed not that long ago. But I think
Angus Young is still alive.
Angus is for sure alive. And Brian Johnson, obviously, he's alive and back. He's got his voice back.
But he looks dead.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Actually, he doesn't. He's got a great voice.
not
Get that.
dead.
He's not dead yet.
They're propping him up on that stool.
No, Keith Richards. Okay, now
No,
you're
they're-
talking about somebody that's a zombie sort of thing. Okay.
Did I read something about Guns N' Roses too? Doing
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
my
into it. They don't look good at all.
Fat Axel. My God, he looks horrible.
jungle, baby.
Oh, my God. And he can't even sing anymore. He actually stepped in on an AC/DC tour. Axl Rose, the singer of Guns N' Roses, and
Wow.
he did not a bad job because he's kind of he can pull that high voice thing off, sort of thing. But nobody will match Bon Scott, the original AC/DC singer. Nobody, no way.
That's not to say that you will find any of these folks at the Invasive Species Center website.
I thought we were off of that, weren't we? Didn't we move
But
on
just
to
in
that?
case, we thought we'd throw that in. This next segment brought to you by our good friends, Rob and all the boys at JMB Cycle and Marine.
I was just talking to the boys yesterday. Well, texting with them and all that, and getting some information about
The shoot.
the Timmins area, and everything. They're just a wealth of information, not just in their beautiful shop here, but on everything around there. So,
Did you know that it could be the world's largest Princecraft Mercury package dealer?
I asked Rob that the other day, and he never got back to me. He
did?
said, I'll get back to you on that, Pete. But please hold.
Anyways, they're Ontario's largest Princecraft Mercury. Princecraft Mercury. Just those two words together just brings joy
It's
and
music.
love
It's
in my
Christmas
heart.
music to your ears, right?
You want a boat and motor package, folks? Before you do anything else, before you contemplate another move, go to jbcycle.com. Do me a favor. Like right now is the time of year where we're all thinking about making a purchase of a boat because we seem to believe that in the weeks ahead, right after Christmas and New Year's, early January, we'll start making final decisions. Let me tell you, right now is the time you need to make final decisions on boat purchases because you will never find dealers in a better frame of mind than right now to talk turkey on, and we're going to be talking turkey here in a few
Wow,
minutes.
you're
That's
throwing
why.
segues in here
I know,
perfectly.
I know.
Wow.
They're willing to talk turkey on, thank you, boats and motors. Why? Because this is their rough time of the year. So,
And I think is pricing on the boats and that come down a little bit too? Boats, motors, trailers, and all that. It's in a good place right now.
We have seen some declining prices, both natural and artificial, meaning that both from a manufacturing sector and from a need sector, we need to move boats and motors, man.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
Zachary.
So check them out. jmbcycle.com is where you need to go. If you're in the
JB,
market.
sorry, just JB. You said JMBcycle.com. I want to make sure. Do you want to make sure
is
they
that
got
what
it
you're
correct?
like? Is that all you're going to do all day? Is critique me?
No, but when it comes to a website
Because,
you could have called him JMB, the world's largest, and I didn't
You
say
doesn't
anything
have to
about
call
that.
me Johnny.
But it doesn't have to call me Johnston. You can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can call me Ray.
The best part of it is that all you do is add the water. The boys at J&B Cycle do everything else.
Got her.
And you have to also write the check. I mean, there is that too. But minor details.
Yeah.
And speaking of turkeys,
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by them. It's only appropriate that we talk about it because 'tis the time of year. So
So
carry
mean.
on.
Why would you do that? Why
What?
are you calling us the turkey? Bunch of turkeys.
Did I call you a turkey?
Would you take this for a gobble?
Ho, ho, ho,
Bird
Merry
joke.
Christmas.
Bird joke.
You all wonder why I turned out this way.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
spent my whole upbringing with the two of you.
I know.
Just
I
for
know.
clarification.
Oh, you got Reno in there too. Don't worry.
don't throw-
Leave Reno
I
out.
tell you, I was talking to him the other day. Oh, my God.
No, what? Give us a Christmas story. Give us something
No,
fun.
oh, my God. It's it's an adventure. Having conversations with Reno.
You gotta
it's an
love the guy.
adventure.
He's the best, man. He's the best.
Saskatchewan exploring expanded wild turkey hunting in the news. Normally we talk about fishing stories in fishingcanada.com
We are
news,
the
right?
outdoor journal.
Oh,
So he's, Dino's
Dean, was this
Turkey,
your
it's Christmas.
idea?
Yeah, this one was good for me. I like this.
You like this?
Yeah, they're looking to expand. So Saskatchewan, I didn't know that they didn't have wild turkeys.
I did not either
'Cause
until
it's
the
kind-
story.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like Ontario has a bunch. BC has a pretty strong population, like down south in the mountains.
Right.
But Saskatchewan has never really had them. They introduced, I guess, based on this story, that they introduced them from North and South Dakota in the 60s, but they never really took. Which in Ontario, they
Wonder why.
Yeah, I think Jerry Ouellette was actually the one who brought them to
And
Ontario.
do you know what he used to purchase the turkeys?
I don't.
Chagati.
Oh,
Trading.
he did tell me, and I don't remember. Do you know the story?
Oh yeah, I was there.
All right, let's hear it.
He used a moose. We traded moose with two states, upper.
Wow, that's awesome. I like that.
Anyways, two bordering states.
Okay.
North and South Dakota, probably.
We're looking to beef up their moose program, of which they had almost none, but they were overrun with turkeys. And Jerry put together. He worked hard on that one too, because you could imagine the opposition.
Yeah.
But he put together a feasible plan where we being Ontario, could trade off turkeys for moose, or trade off moose for turkeys.
Oh, he's the man.
And both programs turned out to be extremely successful. The moose program got roots a little bit quicker than the turkey program did here. But when the turkey program finally got roots, man, it just went
Oh, it's
absolutely
amazing right now.
Oh, my
crazy.
God, you see them everywhere now.
And we had 0 turkeys before that happened.
Yeah.
So
Good
our
for
good
Jerry.
friend Jerry Ouellette
Good
was,
on you, Jer.
I'm going to say, single-handedly responsible for that. I know there's going to be, God bless all you folks over in the Peterborough area. I know you're going to say that that was a part of the initiative from there, but trust me when I tell you that without the minister, Ouellette, on that one, we would not be gobbling turkeys today. Let's put it that way.
By the way, Jerry has a podcast, Under the Canopy podcast.
Yeah.
Just unless
Thank you.
people wanna
And they need him
check him out.
in Saskatchewan right now, obviously, because I guess they haven't really taken in Saskatchewan. They have a few areas, like some national parks, where they're kind of existing now, and I think they have a draw program for tags.
Is there a difference in our land versus their
Geography.
land geography?
I'm thinking like the wooded areas, because
Thank you.
they roost in trees, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe like the amount of agriculture there could be a hindrance. But
The problem is you could see a turkey
Yeah.
10 miles away in Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
and that's problematic in itself.
Get a 10 gauge shotgun. You just wait. Oh, there, I'll take them now.
Yeah, they don't have the landscape. BC does.
Well,
Ontario does.
They must have something though to bring them
Quebec-
in. They might have wanted to bring them in, so they
Quebec
have to have some kind.
has now,
Yep.
by the way. They've
Yeah,
done
they
a
have
They
great
got
job.
perfect landscape for it.
And our turkey have just
Birds.
nicely
Yeah.
moved to the east and starting to fill that up. I heard that folks in the Maritimes have made some reports of as well. So they are
Oh, my
making their
God.
way east, but it all started from this program here in Ontario
Interesting.
that Mr. Ouellette sponsored.
Do you know, Dean? Do you know if maybe I was going to think Saskatchewan, but maybe any of the other provinces that have turkey on it, do they have to do a turkey course as well? Do you have any idea on that?
no, and I think we've got rid of that as well. For
Is
whatever
it? Is it
reason.
done?
Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
That
'cause
was
I
a
know-
boondoggle, by the way.
Oh,
Just so
that's
I
a
can
grab.
officially go on record
Yeah.
as saying that might be one of the greatest boondoggles in our hunting history.
Like just a money grab?
Yeah, money grab.
Oh, my
Big time,
God.
for sure. We said that from the word go, too. We all said that. Hunters said that, too. But hunters wanted to do it, so they paid their money. Hey, I got to get some turkey. And, you follow the sheep and pay that stupid
I have
price.
a theory on how that, but this is not the program to get into that.
The other
Oh, right.
I do know that I have a theory on that.
The other thing I will say about the turkey is that I know BC's population is successful because they took the Merriams, which is another strand from out west. Like they're more accustomed to living in mountains, and they've taken really well. I know Jerry said the ones he brought to Ontario, there was a lot of consideration on like which part of the U.S. you take them from because they need to be well adapted to here. So Saskatchewan may be having that issue where they maybe aren't selecting the right birds, or
that's a good point.
So, like, I'm thinking if they're bringing them from North and South Dakota, the habitat's pretty similar. And
Yeah,
maybe
the Dakotas, and it's close-ish to Saskatchewan,
it is,
right?
yeah.
Like in
yeah.
north-south. Huh.
So I'm thinking they'll find their way there. I'm sure.
Oh, it might take a little longer than they're anticipating, but
Yeah.
they're a very resilient bird.
Oh, yeah.
Right, as we learned here.
Yep.
Because for years it was questionable whether it had taken or not. Right, and all of a sudden,
Boom.
they just needed that few years to get into the groove, and Ben, I'm telling you, it's one of the great success stories.
It's pretty
in
cool.
Stockton.
It's pretty cool seeing them, especially when you go fishing a little bit north of here, not that far north, and you'll see a whole family of them, like just the little babies.
North of my house.
Yeah, and
On-
just walking
on,
to the side of the
Thornton.
road. It's so cool seeing them, right? Like there's
They're all over the
20 or
place.
20 of them in a group or more than that sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes all over yards, and that is, it's very cool.
I think in the next few years we're going to start talking about them less favorably. In
They might become
in
too
the
many,
urban
right?
areas,
Yeah.
right?
Might
anyways.
be, but did I, one more thing, Dean, did I see? I thought I read not that long ago in Saskatchewan's bird hunting world. Anyways, they have to have their gun has to be plugged for 2 shotgun shells. Do you know anything about
I
that?
think that is right. Yeah, I have a buddy who's a guide out there, and I think I heard something about that as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a reason for that. But you think like with the migratory bird hunting they have world class, like the best of all, snow geese, Canadas, or whatever. You'd think that'd be, maybe there's less restrictions in the field or something, might be more.
Yeah,
I was surprised that they're versus the 3 that we have. So anyway, interesting.
Anything else we need to know about turkeys?
No, it'll be on the website if you want to read more. It's a little bit outside of our normal range, but
No.
I like the story.
See, we
Well,
did a
that's-
good job of it, all 3 of us.
And that's
right?
all that matters. If you
Yes.
like the story, then we all like the story, Dean.
All right,
And I'm
thank
sure the audience loves it.
They loved it. I know it.
They
Sure
must,
they did.
Sure.
Sure they did.
A lot of pages on this story, though, Dean. Probably, I'd have to say more pages than I've ever seen before.
Yeah, well,
You were motivated.
It's a passion of mine.
Yeah, you were motivated. All right. This next segment, and wonderful job. So if you want more information, go to fishingcanada.com. Everything you ever wanted to know, and then some, about the turkey program in Saskatchewan.
Wow. Just that's all I have to do is go to fishingcanada.com to get that?
Yeah. No charge. It's
Done.
just free. It's free.
Look that up right now. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, not right now. We're busy doing
They
the show
denied
right
me. Those guys denied me again. They won't let me on their site.
now. I don't blame them. This next segment is brought to you by our good friends. I think this is the last one, is it not?
the last
Of the
one.
year. The last.
No, is it really?
Yeah.
How am I going to miss those guys?
Our good friends at fishfindermounts.com. Hopefully they had a very successful year. Hopefully, I know we did. We had to build all kinds of little gadgetry on the boat to hang all the new toys and technology that's available to us. So we relied on them exclusively. And I'm hoping that most of you did.
Yeah.
And will throughout the winter period while you're building that new boat for next year.
Yeah, don't forget them, please.
Anything you ever want to, that you thought maybe you'd even need to hang transducers and mount screens on your boat, available at fishfindermounts.com. And we appreciate and thank them for their support for this past year. And all the best of luck. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Via YouTube, which I think...
He's a qualified.
Fan question.
The last one of the year.
Question and YouTube. Whoa.
Okay. But we have to select whether we want them to be there or not.
Yay
right?
or nay. It's just,
At Stalik100 via YouTube
leak.
submitted this. It says, great show, guys. I hear Andy, I'm assuming
Palota.
Palota, saying that it is important to grow the sport. And I remember Angelo saying, on an episode some time ago that one thing we are not exploiting here in Canada is a pro-am style tournament circuit. I 100% agree with that. It seems that all we know how to do in this country is team tournaments.
Good point.
Well, absolutely. I personally live in Quebec, south of Montreal, but I fish the BFL,
Bass Fishing League,
the Toyota Series, and Bass Nation circuits as a co-angler. I think many people who took their fishing to the next level and expanded their passion in fishing was in part because they started tournament fishing as a co-angler and then became hooked. Pete and Ange, what is it going to take to convince an organizer like Andy that creating this format of tournament in Canada is going to open up a whole new niche and will help to grow the sport? So
that's a good question. A good point too.
I have been beating that bush, I would say early 90s and onward. I could see the handwriting on the wall. I could see that where we were headed. And keep in mind, we were instrumental in this country in organized tournaments. We were there at the front lines. In fact,
day one.
I'll go even beyond that. We were the front line of Canadian bass fishing tournaments. So we got to a point, though, and when we started this craziness back in the late 70s, early 80s, we had 150 boat fields and 150 boats on the waiting list for every event that we held.
Yes.
And those 150 on the waiting list, 75 of them would actually be present on the morning of blast off, just in case somebody got ill overnight and couldn't make it to the blast off live. They were ready to go.
So many boats, motors, trailers, everything.
It was pure insanity.
And this was all team tournaments back then too.
This was all team tournaments. And why? Because we didn't know any better. That seemed like the logical thing, and it was fun. In my particular case, it's because it gave me an opportunity to fish with my brother.
Yep.
And most of your case, fishing with your best friend, Mikey. So everybody had a reason why these team tournaments were cool and fun. And it was great while it lasted.
Yeah. A good introduction to the sport.
Right.
Sure.
It was a great introduction to sport, but it also stunted the growth of the organization. And look at it today, albeit it's so fragmented. Back when we started this stuff, there weren't tournaments every weekend on every lake.
That's right.
We were
the
it.
only one, right?
We were it.
It was the only circuit.
So fragmentation certainly kicked it in the ass for sure. But I think more importantly, we caused the stunting of growth ourselves by limiting ourselves to team events. By separating those team, and I said this always, I kept telling people, think about it. If we have 300 teams, avid fishing teams today, by eliminating the team tournament concept, we're going to have 600 anglers to draw from. Like you double. I don't know anything else that can grow exponentially overnight like that could have at the time. But the fear's always been, well, no, they won't fish it. And people won't fish them anymore if they can't fish them with their buddy. Well, that's a bunch of crap. I mean, you will have a certain element there that will not happen. They just do it for the camaraderie of their friends. Yeah. But I think in some cases you would find that there would be almost a willingness to split up the team so they compete against each other.
Right. And as a co-angler, that's the best learning you're ever going to get. I mean, you think you can learn something on a half-hour TV show, the Fishing Canada show? Yeah, you might learn one or two little tidbits. You get in a boat with a guy that knows what he's doing in a tournament, and you just learned a lifetime of tidbits, in one day, basically. So there's a lot of benefits to it, for sure. We used to remember, even in we did it for the classics sometimes, back in what you're talking about, those where we'd split up when it came to the classic, we'd have to split up and fish against each other too, right? Remember we did that? And we had to do it, there was no single boats. I think we had to do it. I remember I fished with like Denny Leeson one time. We had to split up, two competitors. Mike Burris had a Hector Beach.
Yeah, because we had the draw, right?
Yeah. So, That was kind of the first of our splitting up.
And
so.
it builds new friendships and new camaraderie starts, right? So you don't. But the other biggest complaint has been, well, it's too expensive, because now as a team, you can kind of split all of your costs. When you go to a draw tournament, your costs are not going to be covered, and you got the hotel room and the gas expense. We could go on and on.
Is that still a thing now? Because the price of gas, for instance, as being as ridiculous as it is the amateur, the co-fisher, whatever, do they not put anything in for gas?
Oh, we always,
money?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I remember fishing south of the border,
by the way.
South of the border as a co-angler. Yeah, of course, it's predetermined. You're $200 a day to fish with.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So, because it's not just the gas, it's the boat, the insurance,
everything.
the fuel,
That's
the
what I'm
oil,
saying,
the upkeep. So it was standard $200 US at the time was kind of the norm. That when you were a co-angler and you drew your boater, the first thing you would do is give them $200 for the day.
Yeah.
And then you would split anything beyond that from that point on, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But no, that's normal. Yeah, sure. Your accommodations obviously aren't shared.
Yeah. No.
Stuff like that. But it's an excuse. Listen, now here's the part I keep telling, and Andy gets the brunt of my complaining, by the way, just so you know. I love him like a brother, but I do bitch and complain at him a lot. Because in my opinion, so the entry level into bass fishing today in this part of the world has grown not quite exponentially, but it has grown at a breathtaking, staggering rate since the 70s. And I'm talking about your equipment, right? So boat, motor, trailer, back in the late 70s, I could get into a decent package for about $35,000, $40,000.
Oh, God, that would be a good package back then.
Right. Well, I'm talking about the biggest and baddest bass boat that you could find. I used to sell them. That time it was Stratos.
Yeah.
They were, 30, 35 would be like pushing the envelope. Well, and by the way, the entry fee for the Pro Bass Tournament Series was, correct me if I'm wrong, was $300.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
$300.
For two guys.
It was $150 a piece.
Yeah.
$300.
That's
Today, Andy's running tournaments for $300.
Yeah.
However, the boat, motor, trailer to fish Andy's tournaments is over $100,000. The rods and reels went from, $30, $35, $40 for they're over $1,000. The lines that people, the fluorocarbon lines and the braided lines, the line used to be like $6.99 for a bulk spool of monofilament.
Yeah.
Well, now you're into
$26.99 for a small spool.
So what I'm trying to say is everything else has grown tremendously, but no, we can't charge more than $300 for a tournament because they won't pay it. That's a bunch of bullshit. Can I have a bunch of bullshit?
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Thank you. Thank you. Because the bank didn't, and the boat, motor, trailer people didn't say, I don't think we can sell a $100,000 boat. So we're not gonna bring him in. No, they said, "Whoa, what a great opportunity for me to make more margin." Margin is based on the starting point, the value of a product. It's a percentage of that product. So if I was making 15% margin on a $100 rod, now that rod is $1,000. I'm still making 15%, but now it's on $1,000, not $100. Do the math, folks. Everybody has enjoyed growth except tournaments here in this country.
Wow. Yeah, it's a good point.
We should be paying $1,500 to fish a tournament in Canada.
Yeah.
I know you're one of the guys that's going, ooh.
Well, no, I'm not for me because I don't fish them anymore. I'm just saying the general public will not, they'll do that. Oh my God.
But you would end up with like true pros.
Oh, it'd be
like,
true pros, and you'd have great prize packages. The prizes would be ridiculous.
Like you might even get like 25 people, but they're all going to be like high level.
Thank you, Dean.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's exactly my point. Right? Everybody wants to be a pro. Well, not everybody can be a pro. In fact, a small, tiny percentage of us, regardless of what activity we want to pursue, can ever aspire to be a pro in that category, except fishing.
Yeah.
It's funny. Everywhere I go, somebody tells me a story. Oh, my cousin's a pro fisherman.
Oh yeah, we see that a lot.
Hey.
We hear that a lot.
Oh, really? What do you mean? Yeah, no, he's a pro. He's got the bass boat, and he's got
And
the
what's his name?
rods.
Bill
Smith.
Blanks. Yeah.
Do you know him? No, I've got bad memory.
You don't want to embarrass
Sorry.
him or insult anybody. That's exactly it.
Everybody's
That's
got
exactly
a
what
pro
he said. It's true.
relative, a pro fisherman in their family.
Or
Everybody does.
they work with him. I work with a guy that's the guy's already working at a job. I work with him. Well, how can he be a pro if he's working at a job?
We should have more pro anglers in Canada than they do south of the border. Based on that
I'll
alone.
tell you, out in public the other day, I saw Chris Johnson fishing. I saw him out in his truck. He's got it all done up with all his sponsors. Like, he's
Speaking
a pro.
of which,
He's a good pro.
he's a real pro.
He's
a real pro.
We have some great pros.
Amazing pros.
Canadian pros.
Where was he?
In
Oshawa?
Oshawa, yeah, like Adelaide and King, or
Bugger
not
didn't even
Adelaide, King.
come over and say hi to us.
King and Gibson.
How dare you,
Gibbons?
Chris
I can't
CJ,
remember.
not come and say hi to Angela?
Yeah.
How dare
They
you?
don't love us.
I know. I felt offended too.
But
Should have cut him off.
He was speeding. Chris, you drive fast. You're gonna get caught.
He
DRPS,
probably
they don't
knew
play
you were,
around.
he probably knew you were stalking him or something.
God.
I gotta get the hell away from this kid. He wears
I hope-
purple velour. I gotta get out of this shit.
You're a man in a red velour Santa hat. I don't want to hear about my purple velour.
There's another guy we can't talk to anymore.
Who? Santa?
Well, Andy, Chris Johnson, list goes on. Did I mention anybody else's name in this piece? No. I will.
Why can't we
refrain.
talk to Chris
Okay,
anymore?
we mentioned Santa.
Well, you guys are talking disparagingly about it.
No, we love
No.
Chris. He knows it.
I was very
He's
excited that
ignoring
he was
us,
driving
that's all.
fast, because then I didn't have to like go 40 down the 40. We went 60 down the 40. It was great. It was wonderful.
Following CJ.
I miss
Following
those
CJ.
days of fishing against those guys, eh?
It was
Remember
fun.
God,
It was fun.
It was exciting. Those are great days.
Yeah, it was some. Yeah, we had some good times for sure.
Alas.
Really good times.
Alas, they're no longer with us those days.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we do talk to Andy, just so that you know. I go
Angie's
on.
very close with Andy.
I
Yeah.
go on and on about this with him all the time, but he's afraid to make that jump because his constituency has put the fear of God into him that if he ever changes from that $300 mentality,
We're out of
they're
there.
all going to abandon him. And they're never going to use their boats, motors, and rods and reels and tackle that they bought for tournament fishing. They're going to lock them up in the garage and never use them again. That's what Andy believes. And I keep saying, Andy, build it and they will come. And you'll also get the cream rising. The cream will rise to the top of that concept. And we too can maybe have real tournaments in this country again that are even remotely close to what they do south of the border.
It's been proven that some anglers in Andy's events, case in point, have the cream has risen. The Johnstons, Cooper, guys like that. They all went through Andy's series. So, yeah, it's potential for sure.
That are it.
Yeah.
Did we whip that one down into shape?
Boy,
Dino?
I'll tell you,
That was great.
we beat that one up good.
Does he qualify?
Stalik.
Does he qualifies? But we need to know. Is he getting,
hell yeah.
was great.
I think we give him something for sure.
It's Christmas.
Christmas time, right?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, let's be nice.
Right
Stalik,
into me.
Stalik.
Come talk to me.
And what
I'll hook you
should
up.
we use for a code?
So he's going to get a personal code that no one else can know about.
Why would I tell you his
we could
code?
do your code right now, Nick.
We
now that
can.
it's been
I think we
segued.
just do Christmas.
That's long.
Xmas.
Xmas. Xmas could work.
If you want something shortened.
XMAS.
Xmas.
Xmas
It's only
works.
for a week.
I'm
so-
amenable to Xmas.
All right. So Xmas, if you're looking for the code to get into the store and get some discounts.
And just so you know, there's that 25% off going on right now.
So they get
You can't
plus.
double up,
I thought
can
you
they?
couldn't use one promo with
I
another.
gotta figure that out, but you might be able to if you're quick enough.
All right. So
If you're fast enough, you might be able to. Sneak
So
it
what's
by
the
me before I
Xmas
fix
code
it.
worth? What is this value of this?
15%.
15. So you could be giving, oh my God.
Could be
I don't even want to know.
40%.
I won't sleep tonight.
That's a lot of percentages off.
Angelo's going to have to
won't
go
sleep
back to
tonight.
construction if they're making some money.
Those were the good old days, man.
Oh, yeah, I loved construction.
Oh my God. Anyways, as we said, this segment brought to you by the good people at fishfindermounts.com. This episode is brought to you by Sail. Sail is proudly Canadian and stocked with over 100 Canadian brands you know and love.
From rods and reels to sonars to kayaks and every last lure you've seen on the Fishing Canada show, Sail has all the gear to get you on the water.
Drop into one of 12 stores across Ontario and Quebec and talk to the real fishing specialists, or gear up online anytime at sail.ca.
Sail, the ultimate destination for your outdoor adventures. We interrupt this program to bring you a message from Anglers Leaderboard, an AI-powered platform built for today's anglers. Use your phone and the photo measure board to automatically detect length and species, log catches, and track your stats over time. Whether you're fishing solo or joining a regional tournament, ALB helps you stay organized and competitive. Head over to anglersleaderboard.com to learn more and start using ALB today.
All right, and moving on. The main segment of the show, we're going to talk about the season ahead, and we also like to mention, I know I've mentioned them already, but the Silver Wax, proudly made here in Canada since 1999. If you're looking to clean anything up, and it doesn't have to be an inanimate object, as I've said before, you could use it on anything. It's environmentally friendly, I believe. Yes, environmentally friendly. But the best part about Silver Wax, folks, if you're into detail waxing like I am, the biggest difference between this product and most other products out there, it's almost like a spit and shine in that you apply it and you wipe it off. It's one process. You don't have to spend all day long letting stuff set up and then doing this to it and cleaning it with that first, and then you put that on. It's one-stop shop.
It's like professional results, and you don't have to be a professional to do it, correct?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Professional, I like that. Professional grade results without being a pro.
There you go.
Because that's a big thing now. Our good friend, Mr. Turner down east is into that business, right? He's got a whole business.
Ceramic
people take
coating,
there and they detail his vehicle. He details vehicles.
Yeah, they pay money and all. You can do this yourself.
I spoke to him the other day.
How'd that go?
He says, I may have to fly down in February and come and detail that Camaro of yours.
Oh.
Well,
how good would that look?
he said, have you got a spare room for me at the ranch? I said, I do, but I do have to tell you right now, it doesn't have a king bed. It's just a little double. It might be a little bit difficult for you.
What did he say to that? I can imagine what he said to that. Bleep, the bleep, bleep.
He said, I don't need that. I can snuggle in and between you and the Countess will be fine.
That he would say.
Anyways, Silver Wax, proudly Canadian since 1999, available at most leading retailers, but I do know for a fact that there is one particular retailer in this country that carries it, and they are Canadian too. That's coincidence, but they are also Canadian, and they do sell tires as well as wax.
I was going to ask, and I just saw it here. I was going to say, do they do the ceramic?
They do, but it's. I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's butt. I haven't used it, but this does not compare to going in and paying a couple of $1,000 to have a professional shop do the ceramic coating.
Okay.
This does a relatively good job, but it doesn't last. Like the stuff that you pay big bucks for, you can go 5 to 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This stuff, I would recommend you do this seasonally, right? Which is fine.
Yeah.
If you want to do that at the beginning of the year.
Maybe I'll have Pete do my car then.
Yeah, for a year, it's great. But anything beyond a year, no, you need the real.
Any idea what the cost of a Pete Turner doing your ceramic coating? Like that truck we saw over there was beautiful.
You said 28. If you wanted to do that right now, which I do, it would be between $3,000 and $4,000.
Okay, so
but that's 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a 10-year coating that you have. By the way, boat owners should pay attention. This is a new fad, not a fad. It's a craze right now. When you're detailing high-end cars, you want to ceramic coat them, right? Because it protects the paint to a certain extent. Certainly, it protects the paint from bug chips. Sometimes you get bugs that actually chip the paint. It won't. If you drop a hammer on the hood of your car and you got ceramic coat, it isn't going to stop the dent from forming.
Right.
But boat owners should listen up, because if there's ever a product that ceramic paint coating should be applied and would make a lot of sense to me would be the hull of your boat.
Aluminum as well? Aluminum is it?
Aluminum as well.
Wow.
To
Interesting.
me,
I know it would work on fiberglass
sense.
for sure, right? Bringing the shine out, the gel coat,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
On
that's
the
interesting.
hull of
I
aluminum
think I've
boat as
seen
well.
some boats have that because they look so
Oh.
good. It's
Oh,
like
my
so
God.
deep in there. That, yeah. Interesting.
So, anyways, Silver Wax has that as well. Look it up. A lot of great products available at leading retailers right across the country, coast to coast to coast. All right, main segment. We're going to talk to you now about the 40th year. Our 40th anniversary is upon us. We're just weeks away from debuting the first episode, January, I want to say 12th.
The 10th.
January
10th.
10th on Global, and then January 5th to 11th, that whole week block for WFN and Sportsman Channel Canada.
So a couple of things that you'll see that are different. First of all, the production quality has gone, I know it's hard to believe, but has gone up even another notch or two, in some cases 3 or 4. We've used a few new techniques in capturing imagery. Our locations, after 40 years of
It's
doing
tough.
this, I'm not. There's nothing brand new there. I can't say there's anything brand new in locations.
We have a couple.
Our venues are,
We have a couple that that are new this year.
yeah, but few and far between. Because, quite frankly, we've been to pretty much
Everywhere.
everywhere that you can, everywhere that is what we consider to be average or above average venue for catching fish.
Right.
Not in terms of just the fishery, but also the amenities, the creature comforts,
Yes.
the accessibility, all those things.
Yep.
And so what
We've been around, in other words. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
We've been around.
We have been around. We're like an old, I got socks from the beginning of our career that are still being worn today. And that's not a joke. That's the absolute truth. I've got some thermal socks that I have had. Now, I very seldom wear them. They're my emergency go-to in my bag that I take on every shoot. I have a couple of items that are strictly emergency go-to items. I have a pair of wool socks that have been there from day one. Honest to God. I've worn them maybe 2 or 3 times in the 40 years.
Now, very quickly, I consider Angelo a clothing expert in the outdoor world because he sold it for so many years. Is that old wool still comparable to merino wool now, or the
No.
new stuff and all that?
Not even close.
Okay.
I told you,
So
this
you might
is
want
my...
to turf them. You might want to get
No,
rid of them.
I have an emotional attachment to them. Okay, I can't. It would be sacrilegious for me. And it's funny because every time I pack that bag for every shoot, every trip that we make, I go through it to make sure I have I've got a knife in there, a fillet knife in there that's been there. That fillet knife is almost as old as the socks.
That's the Cutco one, isn't it?
That's the one.
I know it.
Right?
I got one.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so I go through this emergency, check the emergency equipment procedure before every trip. And if I can't see those socks in there, man, I start breaking into a cold sweat. Not that I've ever used them,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's one
awesome.
of those things.
It's your little security toy. That's great.
What was I was going somewhere with that, but I've forgotten now.
That's okay.
That's the byproduct of my age, right? I like that. I'm enjoying that more and more, by the way. For years I complained about my memory.
Yeah, it's a good
I enjoy it
excuse.
now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Think about this, Dean and Nick. 3 weeks after I view a series, I can watch it all over again. I'm serious. I watched one last night into the wee hours this morning, and I finally got to the last episode. It was a 10 episode series. And I finally got to the last episode, and by the last, I would say 10 minutes of the 10-week series that I binged last night, it dawned on me I'd seen it before.
Oh my God.
And now, how much of that series did you spend sleeping on the couch?
On this run through or the original?
This run through.
None.
Really?
Yeah. 0.
You deserve a medal for that one.
0.
That's a new,
maybe on the
that's-
first run through, maybe I don't know. Because I don't remember seeing it until the last.
Wow.
It was like the punchline. It was like the final, blow. because it was a gladiator type movie. It was the final battle between the arch rivals, the villain and the king, right?
Yeah,
and that's when it dawned on me, holy shit, I've seen this. I know who's going to get killed here. But think of how great that is, because I can do stuff over and over again.
That is nice.
and appreciate it.
Absolutely. Right? It's funny. I did the same thing last night. I saw a series that I said, I got to check that out. Something looks good about it. And I turned it on. I said, son of a bitch. But I got on the first episode. I said, I have seen this. I know it's going to come up here. And I have seen this. And I watched the full episode anyway, just because it was so good.
I've got so many that I look at and say, oh.
Is that?
I must have, because you could see on the timeline, you watched the first.
A little red line.
You watched the first 10 minutes. Oh, no. I must have seen that before. Anyways,
true. So
I don't mind it at all.
No.
I'm good with it.
Great at Easter time, too, buddy.
And also great for us in our business, for me anyways, because I get to revisit some of the old Fishing Canada episodes.
Oh, man.
And I'm not going to say that I don't remember them, but there's a lot of it that I've forgotten, and I get to relive it, and it's fantastic.
I know. Dean and I were having a chat the other day there, and he was starting to bring back, we were talking about B-roll from episodes and all that. And he said, what about that shoot that you were on with Angelo? What? I didn't even know I was at these shoots. I said, Dean, I did not. I was not there. Oh, yeah, you were there, Pete. I got a video proof of you being there. Holy shit. So, yeah.
Anyways, advantages of being around so long. First episode that you will watch, the premiere episode, early January, is called Perfect Timing Walleye. And we revisit with our good friend Ted Putnam at Hawk Lake Lodge in northwestern Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah. And and we're going to say revisit because we know the potential of that lake, right? Ted runs a great operation, and the fishing can be outstanding. It's not one of these places you're going to go up and guaranteed bunch of 30-inchers all the time walleye. But if you work for it, you're going to get yourself some good.
Or if you don't want to work for it, you want to sleep it all day long.
You're living in luxury.
And then at 9:15, after you've had your post-supper little aperitif,
one nightcap,
you get in the boat and you head to the spot.
Yeah, which we will show on.
You will catch one of those
in this episode, and this episode's hotspot for this. So that episode coming up, if you go to Hawk Lake Lodge, you will get. It's not a secret there. That's the one thing about this spot. I mean, Ted tells, hey, "Come on, everybody, follow me. We're going there after lunch, after supper." And I tell you what, that place lights up. It was just like we were trying to run live scope, and it was shallow water, and we could see fish on live scope, but you didn't even have to live scope.
No.
We just cast out randomly and say, "Okay, boop." There's one. We got like. That was the biggest one. We got another one that was like a 26-incher. We got another one like a 25-incher, and it was all in less than an hour.
Less than an hour. Yeah,
like, it was great. All dark. Yeah. I mean,
it's a very cool thing. This is the first time we did it. We've avoided it because it's not our cup of tea, to be honest with you.
It's hard to shoot too.
It's really hard from a production standpoint.
Like that looks like daylight in this picture.
And
it
is dark.
My God, that fish was caught at dark. Like it was, So, and we opened the show up with a bunch of smallmouth too, because we just thought, we thought let's do some smallmouth up here and just show off. Nothing big, but it was just bang, 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 bang. Overall, great trip, and it's a good show.
Wonderful episode.
And Mr. Taylor's in there too, with a lake trout and
snuck in there,
and a walleye too.
And right? I believe Nicky was cameraman.
Nick was the cameraman on that deal
I
too.
was, in fact, cameraman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Me and Dean were both. How do you describe it? Fishing like children, Dean.
Yes, with the bottom bouncers and bobbers.
Yeah. Bottom bouncers
Old
and
school.
bobbers.
Yeah,
and
bobber stuff.
Did we want to tell them the cool thing that happened on the bottom bouncer? Or we want
no, you got to let them. But something very cool did happen.
Something very cool happened with the bottom bouncer.
Did anybody fish? Because I know prior to going up, I said, guys, we got to go to that point and see if those smallmouth are there where Ted says they're every year. We've seen them a couple times.
We didn't fish.
We missed it again, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't fish it.
I got one bass on Hawk, did I not?
Oh, no, we
Yeah.
got lots of
we got
bass.
bass, but there's a spot. There's a spot that every year that we go, we say we've got to make time to go fish this one spot. We've never fished it. We've seen fish there, but we've never actually dropped a line. And we said we got to go and check it out.
Is it on the north side of the lake? You go underneath a bridge or something?
No, no bridges in that lake.
It's just before you get into the Narrows and off to the right-hand side, just as the narrows are forming.
No, we tried. We looked around there, but I think we looked for wall.
No, I know we fished
looked
the
at
other
the wall.
side. We fished the left side, for sure.
When you're going to our hot spot
Yeah.
from the lodge, we looked for walleye at least on the right side, but
Did
I
we?
don't know if we looked for smallmouth. Yeah, we did, but I don't know. We went shallow too. Yeah, we did look.
We couldn't
We
find
looked around and we didn't. There was the odd blip here and there on live scope, and that was it. There was not a lot going on. So, But
Just
anyway,
curious. Anyways, that's episode 1. It's an absolute blast. Check it
January
out.
10th on Global. That one.
January 10th, called Perfect Timing Walleye.
Good show. I think you'll like it. I think people will appreciate it. Show number 2, January 17th on Global, and that week of January 12th to 18th on WFN, the Sportsman Channel. Buck Lake, a new trip, a new plan. A new trip, new plans.
This was a great show.
So the last time we were there, I'm going to go back 3, 4 years, 5 years ago, maybe more. Pre-pandemic?
More than that. Yeah, I think. Hey, Dean?
It was like 2018, 2017,
Holy
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. See, forgetting, right? So the last time we went there, Pete and I decided that we were going to do an episode that would depict more. I don't want to say reality, but more of the normal trip that a couple of guys might make into a place like this.
Exactly.
Where,
That's exactly it.
there's no hard work involved. You don't want to, kill yourself, 18-hour days. You're just going to get up whenever you want to get up, and then you're going to mosey on out. The goal was to do a shore lunch. We had to catch our food. And that was kind of the only real purpose we had. We just wanted to do it old school style, right?
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
And it was a fun, wonderful outing.
Yeah, it was a cool
great.
show, yeah.
But we didn't really. We got a lot of numbers, but no size.
God, we caught a lot of fish that trip too, didn't we? Remember?
Ton of fish, but no size. And we didn't work for size. That was the whole thing. We weren't going to do what we normally do.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens purely by, just like it would for you if you went to a place like this, right?
Yeah.
But this time,
Well, this time we went out. It's funny because we went out with full team in tow here. So Dean and I and Steve went up there with Rick, the cameraman, and we kind of split up. We split up in 2 different teams, and I said, "Boys," or maybe Angie might have even said that on the way up, but before we even left, she said, "You know what? You and Dean, Steve and Dean, you guys work with Rick, the cameraman, and then Pete, we got some small cameras, some little Osmos and stuff like that. Pete, you just take a couple cameras and go and fart around and see if you can find a big fish or something like that."
with no cameraman.
Yeah, with no cameraman, 0, yeah. So, and then we went out looking around, and it instantly started like that. It's just,
Now, in all fairness, way before this happened, we had a chance meeting with the owner of the lodge, who we hadn't seen for years,
up in North Bay.
up in North Bay at the tourism summit, right?
Yep.
And John, right?
John Moffat.
John Moffat. And he said,
Buck
"Boys,"
Lake Lodge.
he says, "you got to come back. You got to come back, and you got to do another episode of Buck Lake, because I have found a pattern and a location that will knock your socks off." And honestly, that's the start of this episode.
And we hear that a
That's what-
lot too,
Yeah.
by the way, because people want to get us to their lodge and film at our lodge. Obviously, they're going to get national, exposure, et cetera, et cetera. But Johnny's pretty passionate. You know what I mean? He's very passionate about his moose hunting. He's very passionate about his walleye and anything else, but especially with Buck Lake Lodge. So, and they're building it up. You should see it now. It's like it's so nice now. It's all cleaned up and brand new, and the whole dining area. But anyways, yeah. So we got up there with the intent. And long story short, I got onto this deal in there, and I don't know. It wasn't by fluke, because John told me, there's an area to go in and all that kind of stuff, and sure as hell, man, it was like the surprise of my life. And I'm running these stupid little GoPro cameras. It was basically YouTube style, basically for 75% of the show. And then finally, it was so good in these, this pattern that Angelo's talking about and all that stuff, that I said to Rick, well, the boys had got tons of shore lunch fish for their segment and all that. And I said, "Ricky, why don't you come on board and we'll go in, slide in, and try if we can catch a couple more." And it was the most incredible.
Yeah, it was a great show.
It was the freak show of good sized fish. Like that right there is a indicative of what I got into.
And you had beautiful, beautiful flat water and mile high.
I had no
skies
trolling
and-
motor. You can see my Garmin was the only piece of equipment I had. Look at the screen I got it on. I don't even have live scope on. I didn't even use my live scope. I went in there. I kind of looked around a bit, and then I just said, okay, this is the area-ish that I'm gonna work. And I the one thing that freaked me out a lot, and I'll let this out of the bag, is that I went in drop shotting because it was very snaggy. The bottom was ridiculous snaggy. And we were warned by people that had left before. They say, if you go to fish this pattern, you're going to lose a lot of jigs. And I thought, you know what, I'll drop shot instead because bring it up off the bottom. If I lose the weight, I'm not doing retie. I just got to grab a new weight and all that stuff. And I was drop shotting when I went in at first. I drop shotted, not even confident yet. I drop shotted the biggest dead minnows that I had in my bucket. Like dead ones. I didn't take the live ones because the live ones were little wee guys. And I said, piss on it. If it's a big fish pattern, I'm going to use it. And I put the dirty old dead minnow on it. Then my second cast with this big dead minnow, doink, I got like a 28 or 29 incher, and then just went on from there. It was fun. Like it was, when people say hey, it's a job, can it be always fun and all that? Well, that trip right there at Buck Lake Lodge, I tell you, it was one of the most fun trips I've ever had.
It was a great episode. Outstanding, and it is coming up episode 2 in the 40th
January
season.
17th on Global.
Then number 3, La Réserve Beauchesne. Now in Quebec, I fished this for sure 20 years ago.
Yeah, with Roland, right?
With Roland Martin.
Right.
And I went in there.
But it wasn't our show, it was Roland's show, right? Wasn't it?
No, we did both.
Did we do our show?
Yeah, we had one there too.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did both.
Okay.
And it was outstanding then. And we haven't been there ever since. And lo and behold, I know we've answered this on a few episodes, but let me tell you again. One of the criteria that we have, aside from where we personally would like to go, which, by the way, is the least important criteria of all, but a very important criteria is having some cooperation from the venue, the jurisdiction,
Sure helps, doesn't
the
it?
region, the province, you name it. We need assistance to do these shows.
So true.
If we don't have assistance, we can't do them. It's that simple. What we do is real. When we put an episode on national television on the Fishing Canada show that's viewed by hundreds of thousands of people, it's real. It's not how many likes do you have and how many views did you get, and by golly, what we do
You said
is
hundreds of thousands. You mean
real.
millions, my friend. You're millions of people.
Well, I'm talking every time it airs.
You think it still does in millions every time it airs, doesn't it, ultimately?
Well, if you count the specialty channels, if you count the U.S., yeah, I'm sorry. But the point I'm trying to make is what we do is real. It costs real money. We have real people doing it. We have professionals at every level doing it within the company. It is real. Therefore, it needs cooperation. So when I say to you that we have not been to Quebec for about 20 years, it's because Quebec stopped being interested in advertising its product to a national Canadian audience. Mm-hmm. Until,
That's a good point, yeah.
until recently.
Till this year.
And then they said, you know what?
We're in.
Maybe the world isn't flat. Maybe it doesn't end in Cornwall. Maybe there's a world out there, and I think we should reach out to it. And lo and behold, there we were again at Beauchesne some 20 years later. And
Yeah.
Mr. Bowman?
Oh, it was one of my favorite shoots of the year for sure. So, and it's funny because we do a podcast, on the road podcast from here, and then so you get a little preview of everything we've done. I'll just reiterate that. Number one, the hospitality of that place at Beauchesne, and as soon as we crossed the border up at top end of Lake Temiskaming, so as soon as we crossed the border into Quebec, outstanding. The people it was just fantastic. You just felt like, these are friendly. They love us. We love them type of people. So the lodge, Dimitri and his whole team there were just so crazy good. It's a reserve. So there's a couple things about Beauchesne. So number one, it's a big chunk of land with, I think, 40 lakes on it. Is that right, Dean? Is that like 40 lakes?
40 lakes, yep.
And including their main lake. And they have a main lodge and a main restaurant, et cetera, on the main lake that they have there. So when you go there, you're number one, it's top class, just first class. Everything there about
Always
it
has been.
always has been. The cabins are outstanding. The food is ridiculous. The fishing on the main lake, as in what Mr. Taylor's got there, with me in the background, there's walleye, lake trout, smallmouth, northern pike. They're the 4 mains, and then they have others. I think they boast 7 species of Dean, I think, right, in the main lake. But the best part is all the outlakes they have there. So there's 39 other outlakes or whatever they are. So all different species. So what Dean and I did on this show is we started on the main lake, and then we threw to Dean going out to a speckled and a splake lake with some speckles in it for Dean's piece, and then we threw to me doing smallmouth on another lake, and just to show the variety of fishing that's there. And every segment of the show, you're going to say, like, we didn't use all the fish because we couldn't use it in a half-hour show. We just caught so many fish. It was just craziness. And everything about that trip and everything about this show coming up is just, again, outstanding.
And we were there probably the hottest time you could possibly.
Brutal
It was insane.
hot. We were worried about the trout and all that kind of stuff, saying, guys, we got to get these fish back quick. So it was like in the heat of that summer that we just had, the 90-degree days and the surface temperature. It was so hot in there.
How hot was it?
It was so hot that the smallmouth on this little lake that I was fishing would not move for topwater bait. They would not come up to that top surface of the, how in summertime, that's the best time for topwater.
It's too hot for
Any jerk baits that were in that upper column, they would not come up for. I had to go down either deep with a crankbait or get them on jigs. And they would not, it freaked me out because I thought there's no way these guys got to come up for this stuff. They wouldn't budge on it. It was that hot. So the water temp was, do you remember that, Dean, what the water temp was?
I think it was like 78 at some
I
point.
think it was over that. I thought we had 80s in that one. Yeah,
it could
I think
be in
so.
those little small backwards.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, but anyways, great show. I think everybody's going to love it. You'll get an idea what Quebec's got to offer, and Beauchesne is just, if you're looking for a place to go, something different, something first class, and everything's kind of included in there, go for Beauchesne for sure. So that was January 24th. That one's coming up on January 24th on Global.
Number 4, the Pipestone Foursome, Cedar Island Lodge, once again here in Ontario. A very unique opportunity for us to experience. One of the many, when I say many, there's probably a dozen that I know of where you have to ride a cart on a small rail to get from one side of the lake.
Before?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we've seen it
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Oh, really?
We saw that at,
Garden Island is one that comes to
Garden
mind.
Island for sure. And the other one there,
Big Chute, which is a big...
Big Chute, yeah.
Big
I
Chute
hadn't
is
seen
probably the
that.
biggest. It's massive. Basically what we did, except add about a quarter mile to it.
Oh, really?
And much bigger, wider, deeper, more of a canyon-y kind of a thing. But no, there's about a dozen of them in Ontario. It's a great experience. And what we're talking about is that you have to traverse from one section of a lake to another via these rails. And the boat,
on your boat.
in your boat. You're in your boat, and your boat goes up on this trailer, and then you go over land, and then it comes down the other side, and you splash down into the water. It's like a mini roller coaster.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So that was the Pipestone Foursome at Cedar Island Lodge. Once again, a unique fishery. It's off the beaten path.
It's a location that one of the ones that we haven't been to ever. We've never filmed at the Pipestone Lake, right? So
great operation, tremendous food, wonderful accommodations.
The people were just fantastic.
But I really liked the layout of the playing field. The lodge is kind of tucked away in the narrows, and every day that you come out, you have to go like you're going in a different direction these little channels, because it's a massive lake that is filled with islands and land masses that make it just a series of channels and back alleys, and to cross there, you can't go that way. You have to go through there and into there.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's where your GPS comes in real handy in that kind of place.
God.
Watching your tracks and knowing where you went. Oh, God.
And of course, we always like to go as far away as you possibly can for some bizarre reason.
Yeah.
And, getting to our farthest point, as you'll see in this episode, getting to the farthest point of this adventure was an adventure unto its own for sure. But great body of water. Never been there. We heard lots about it. And now hopefully you too will have an opportunity to see what Pipestone Foursome Cedar Island Lodge is all about.
And we got, just to let you know, 4 hosts did 4 different species. So it's much a variety.
So just to clarify that a little bit, we wanted our 40th season to be our best, which I believe we have achieved. But we also wanted to get farther away from, and I hate saying this, but the origins of the show were always 1 or 2 guys on camera, and we've had 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different hosts at any given time, but only 2 of them would be on an episode, or 1 of them would be on an episode. Well, this 40th, we tried to get away from that, in that we would give everybody a chance to work in front of the camera and break the shows down into 3 or 4 segments. So I think for the most part we were successful. We had a bit of
it's a good little show.
Setback this year. Nik and I were not available for a lot of the shoots, but Pete and Dean and Steve certainly did a great job in filling in for us when we weren't there.
Yeah.
And hopefully next year that will go back to normal.
Yeah, because that's a very neat concept. That 4 hosts,
love it.
And there was 4 different species, 4 different hosts. I think it just worked out really well.
I love it.
And it made it for 4 different days of fishing too, right? Because me and Dean, we partnered up together.
Yeah.
On when I did my day, he did his day, but it was different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, and I'm sure it was the same with you guys. Like you just you got to do different things. It wasn't like I went bass fishing and then watched Dean do the exact same thing for an entire day.
Right.
Different spots with different things with different techniques. So
Yeah.
I found it made it enjoyable to do.
Yep.
Yep,
And I
for
think
sure.
that'll translate into being enjoyable to watch.
And everything from you did top waters, everything from top water to down drop shotting and in between. So it's cool. And Ange down 100 feet of water. So
I lost my favorite Yozuri, the green little.
Yeah, you
popper
owe us that,
fellow.
by the way. You got to go pick one of those up
I
for sale.
remember we went to look for one. We couldn't find it. Still upset about that.
Speaking of owing, is that one of my drinks you've got on your desk?
Yep, I took it from your house this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate
One
that.
of his.
Yeah, one of my iced tea drinks.
Does he ask when he takes that stuff?
No. And does he ever offer to buy a case of them
Yes.
at $32
yes, I
a
do.
case?
Yes, I do at Walmart.
Okay.
I
then-
offered, and you said no.
Well, I'm taking that back.
Nope, too late.
Is this a special tea? Is this like a
It's a
special
nice tea.
I get it.
It's specialty.
Yeah. So it's nothing.
Episode
I
number
get that
5, Temiskaming Smallmouth Old Mission Resort. Once again, we've been there before, right? 100 years ago?
Yes, we have. Yes. And that was a walleye show before. But this time we went up. We did have walleye. Steve and I went on this one. And we had walleye on the mind because the walleye show that I did up there many years ago was way up at the north
fish.
end of the lake. And we worked basically sandbars and breaks and stuff like that. Well, through that time, I've now heard that there's a lot of open water walleye that roam around there. And if you get onto them, like Ann says, there's some big fish down there. So, but we got there and it just didn't work out. The timing wasn't right. I can't remember what was going on, but we couldn't get that trolling gig going at all. So I remembered that we had some smallmouth from the show before, and it was good smallmouth fishery. So that first show was at the north of the Old Mission Resort. This one we said, let's go south because there's 100 kilometers of water to fish here. It's a ridiculously big body of water. It's the headwaters of the Ottawa River. So I said, Stevie, let's just go south and let's take a look around, maybe some walleye, maybe some smallmouth, because there are smallies here. Well, we got onto a whack of smallmouth like you'd never believe. It was just unbelievable. And the freaky part of that whole show is the water clarity is so dirty. It's so, like you're thinking way up north, this is beautiful northern Ontario, Quebec border, nastiest looking water I've ever fished in. Like, so your confidence is low until you catch a fish. And then all of a sudden you start catching them. It's like, and we watched them on live scope. We watched these smallmouth on live scope, and you could throw a little wee tiny Ned rig, a 3.5 inch plastic, and they would see that from 5-10 feet away. Like somehow they knew it was there. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh my God. So we ended up with and we got to fish in front of the mouth of the Montreal River that dumps in there. There's a great big dam. There's a beautiful scenery and all that. One of my most favorite smallmouth shows of ever, probably. Stevie and I did there, so it was fun. Lots of fish, big ones, et cetera, et cetera. So
Nick and I
fun
fished
show.
the Montreal River in 2019.
Yeah, that's right. That's your heart attack one, wasn't
That
it?
was
my heart attack.
Eagle,
That's right.
Eagle,
Eagle something resort.
Eagle Lake
Eagle,
Lodge, Eagle Island Resort,
Yeah.
something
something
like that. With
like
the
that.
chipmunks.
Yes. with the
Yeah.
chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Episode 6 and 7, my 2 favorite of the year, and I'm sure they will be your 2 favorite of the year too. They are a part 1 and a part 2, not to be missed. Episode 6 and 7. First one's called Wedgeport Tuna Festival.
That starts February 14th, by the way.
February
in case you're marking your
14th.
calendar.
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, look at you
Yes.
guys.
You and your honey
lovers.
can enjoy that episode together. See?
There you go.
Wedgeport Tuna. Something we said, Nick? Must have been. I must have twigged something in him. Wedgeport Tuna
It's
Festival.
that tea, that
Yeah,
iced tea there, you get all pissed off with you.
Or I reminded him about him giving me a heart attack on the Eagle River there. Wedgeport Tuna Festival in Wedgeport, Nova Scotia. What a wonderful, wonderful episode. I think we captured the essence of what the Maritimes really is and why everybody, whether you're in fishing or not, it's totally irrelevant. Everybody in this country should visit the Maritimes once before you hang up your
Absolutely.
whatever it is you're into.
It's not enough to hear about it. Like, we talk about how great the people and the culture and the community is out there, but until you're immersed in it, it doesn't really hit home.
It's a different world,
We do
boys.
our best to capture it, and I think we did a good job. But you got
guys
to
did
be
a
there in
great job.
person.
Yeah.
And we include everything. And Maritimes for us is everything, right? From New Brunswick, PI, Nova Scotia, Cape
Breton,
Cape Breton
Island,
of course,
Newfoundland, all that
Newfoundland, Labrador. That's all Maritimes, and it, just one great experience after. Now, we've yet to have a bad one, and
It's
we've
a
been going
different
there
world
for
out
years.
there. I'm telling you right now, from where we live here in the GTA, it is a different world out there, for sure.
So Westport has the distinction of being the home of the longest running tuna tournament in the world, Dean.
So I think Spain has that claim because Wedgeport had a break from like the late 70s until mid 2000s. They had a break where originally they built a causeway, and the tuna, they kind of lost track of where they were.
Okay.
Then they brought the tournament back, and they hosted it in Halifax for a little bit, and then Wedgeport got it back.
Gotcha.
Now the fish are starting to return back to Wedgeport, which you'll see in the episode. They're starting to come back around, but the big ones are like 15 hours offshore, actually towards Boston, in a place called the Hellhole. And that's kind of a theme in the episode, boats making the decision whether to head there or stay near shore, or, it's a gamble because the tournament's only 4 days if everything goes perfect.
And it takes you a day and a bit to get there and a day and a bit to get back.
Yeah.
So that means you've got less than a day to
Not
fish.
a lot of fishing time, buddy.
So it's a big decision.
And that's if everything is perfect.
Right.
Everything has to go perfect.
And we know that doesn't always happen, especially when you're talking about the Atlantic Ocean. So in this particular event, and we're fishing for bluefin tuna, by the way, just FYI. In this particular event, we were thrown into a bit of a panic mode from a production standpoint and also from the tournament's standpoint, because it was the beginning of a hurricane.
Hurricane Aaron.
That was looming south of us in the Atlantic, off of the coast of Africa, actually. And it could become a big problem. And you'll see that in episode 1, towards the end of episode 1, where it rears its ugly head and makes a huge impact on the tournament results. In episode 2, Peter and I are not far from there in Canso, Nova Scotia.
And Nick.
Sorry. I forgot about Nick.
How could you?
I
How
don't
could
know.
you do this?
How dare you?
Yeah. And we went out fishing with an old boat and friend of ours that we tuna fished with 100 years ago. And from that same port, not the same person, but the same port. Yeah. And this time...
We did see him, though.
We did see him, and I sent him a hoodie. He said, "Where are you going to give me a hoodie?" That was from like 20 years ago.
Right? Yeah.
I sent it out though.
I know.
It's he should have it by now.
Good. Good stuff.
Crusty What was his name?
Sandy.
Sandy.
McCaslin? No.
He's the ultimate
Sandy
maritime.
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's exactly what you picture when you think of it.
When
like
we
a captain.
told you guys about it, you just
man.
yeah, that's Sandy.
He was
the
the
guy.
best. You can imagine spending a couple of days
I'm
on a
jealous.
boat with him.
Oh, he was a
my
character,
God.
man. Character. For sure.
Anyways, so we went in pursuit to see if we could break our record, bluefin tuna, which is it stood at the time at 937 pounds, 1,000 pounds.
Nice
1,000
little
pound
tuna.
And we went down to see if we could break it during the same period that the boys were up at Wedgeport covering the tuna festival. We thought it would be appropriate if we were doing our own tuna thing on the other side of the province. So that's episode 1 and 2. We're not going to tell you anything more than other than the fact that I will guarantee you it will be, if you catch both episodes, it will be the best hour of fishing entertainment and Canadiana that you will have in 2026.
Wow.
I'll give you that.
There you go.
That's how strongly I feel about it.
There you go.
Episode number 8, Sleeping with the Wolves and Catching Fish in Timmins, Ontario.
Yes, what a place, eh?
The folks at JMB Cycle put us onto this, right?
did.
That's
that was the
exactly.
start of it.
Rob Racine started us. He told us. No, he didn't start that. That
It
was,
was,
at the conference, with the same Buck Lake conference one. That was Guy
Lamarche. Guy Lamarche.
Guy Lamarche come over to Carol and Carol Caputo, our lovely partner in Ontario Tourism, and they mentioned this. They didn't mention the fishing in Timmins. They mentioned the accommodations in Timmins, and it was Cedar. What is it called? Cedar Meadows Resort and Spa. And we said, okay, yeah, we go to lots of resorts and all that. I said, no, but there's a thing they have there. It's called Sleeping with the Wolves. So, huh? So in a nutshell, this place where we stayed at and shot at and did a podcast at, et cetera, they have a group of timber wolves right there, right beside the facility. You get these wolf cabins, and you basically
Glass
sleep with
walls
the glass
and
walls,
you
just
sleep with
gorgeous, and they're right up to your window of your place, like some of these timber wolves. It's just the most incredible looking animal in the world, and so that, along with obviously Timmins being up in north central Ontario, up north quite a bit. The fishing up there is just outstanding. There was one little lake Steve did a segment on, a tiny little lake. It was 10 minutes, Dean, probably 5-10 minutes from town.
Like there was a Tim Hortons on the shore. Pretty
Yeah,
much. Like,
it was crazy. And he just whacked them. And then Dean said, well, let's go a little farther out of town. He went out half an hour out of town, which will put you into 1,000 different lakes, and he cracked every species going out there. So it's a fun show where Dean and Steve split up like that, and we got the Sleeping with the Wolves element in there as well. So very cool.
Episode number 9, the Great Ontario Road Trip, kind of speaks for itself. Because we do spend greater than 50% of our shooting schedule is here in the province of Ontario. So we thought for the 40th that it would be very appropriate that we do an episode just to showcase that part of the Fishing Canada series. So call it Fishing Canada Ontario series, if you will. Call that episode that. It's called the Great Ontario Road Trip. A lot of fun, a lot of great locations, things you've seen before, things you've never seen before, all unveiled in that half-hour episode. Number 10, some friendly competition at Airedale Lodge in Ontario.
Whitefish Lake, right close to Wawa. In fact, Hawk Junction, if you look on a map, it's right by Hawk Junction, tiny little town close to Wawa. This was a fun show. This was very cool. And again, set us out. It was me, Dean, and Steve. He sent us out, and we brought the Princecraft up with us, fully rigged. And Angelo said, but by the way, boys, let's throw a little competition into the mix there. He says, okay, sure. What do you want to do? Like that. He says, there's 3 of us. Well, let's take Dean and Steve, for instance, against Pete. And I thought, right on. Well, 2 against 1, I'll get the big boat. And all that. No, you're not quite going to get the big boat either, Peter. You're going to give Steve and Dean the big boat, and you guys are going to go out and do a little battle of the whatever it takes. Is the total inches. So we worked with the Anglers Leaderboard on this one, ALB. It's an app, and you'll see that in the show. It's a competitive app amongst friends and whatever you want to do it, but it's a game of inches.
And any species, right?
Any species goes. And that was the thing about this. So there was walleye, there's northern pike, and there's smallmouth up in this lake trout too, but we didn't target the lake trout. It was getting really late. And yeah, we had a marathon of a lot of different fishing situations. All those species were involved. And I'll just say the culmination, the end of this show is something we've never showed on TV. It's never happened to us before. It was just
it was crazy.
It was crazy. It's the best ending of a show ever, sort of thing. So,
called Some Friendly Competition, Airedale Lodge in Ontario.
March 14th on Global.
Number 10. This episode is brought to you by Anglers Leaderboard and its Spot Mapper feature. Spot Mapper connects your catch data to your spots, allowing you to view your catch history. With Spot Mapper, your locations stay completely private. Only you can access them, so your favorite spots stay your secret. Learn more at anglersleaderboard.com. Number 11 is Snoggy Lake. We make yet another visit to Lodge 88 and the other lodges that are on that body of water. But this time we featured the lake as the main star as opposed to a lodge and or the fishery, because in as many times as we've been on that lake fishing, we've never really done anything to highlight the lake itself and its history and how the whole thing got started.
Yeah, we find the fish and that's it. There you go. Okay, let's fish here for 2 days.
Wonderful episode called the Snoggy Lake. You don't want to miss that. And then number 12, we can't tell you a whole lot about it because it's still in production. And the final story will probably be unfolding in the weeks ahead that we won't even know. We can't even tell you about today. Let's put it that way. And it's going to be the history of finding fish. On this episode, we go back to not only our beginnings, but most anglers' beginnings in the late 60s to early 70s, and move right up to present day, focusing on how the hell do you find fish in a body of water? Because that's the age-old question. Guys, how do you find all those fish? Well, on this episode, we try and we walk through the entire history, certainly from when we started into the business to today, and how technology has helped us tremendously along that never-ending, by the way. It's never-ending quest.
It shows right there, the old school, getting a portable, the better school, the best school. Yeah, that's cool. Good graphic, Dino. I like that.
It's going to show. It's going to show us together how that roadmap came to be. It didn't always exist. It wasn't always there. So technology allowed us to come up with all of these theories. It allows us to see underwater. It allows us to go back to areas that have been productive, because believe it or not, wasn't that many years ago that we couldn't do that.
Oh my God.
Okay, we couldn't find those spots.
Thing in the world to do.
So anyways, I think one of the best episodes that we've ever produced. It's not finished yet, so I can't really tell you a whole lot more about it. But I think from an interest standpoint, from an audience standpoint, it's one that you're going to have to circle on the calendar for sure. You don't want to miss this. And it's called The History of Finding Fish.
Beautiful.
And that's our whole season coming up. We kind of capsulized everything.
A little bit for everybody.
Each one is an adventure unto its own. Hopefully you will enjoy them as much as we enjoyed putting them together. Please let us know when you watch them in the new season, the 40th year. Let us know how we did.
Yeah.
We're very proud of it.
They will go to YouTube after they're on TV.
The Monday after.
Yep. So you want to leave some comments there. We appreciate the comments, and we will eventually get back to you on them. So trust us. I mean,
so the first YouTube video should be the 12th.
Yes, that's right.
If I am understanding correctly.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Look at you.
I'm good.
Oh my God.
I'm real good.
You're better than you think you are.
The best.
All right. On that note, I think we've pretty much covered everything, Dino.
Yeah, and the next time you'll see us will be in the new year.
Yeah, so we're taking a couple of weeks off. Is that correct?
That's what I've heard from above, yes.
All right, so we're on
hiatus.
We're going to be off for a couple of weeks during the holiday season, so we will catch you on the other side. On behalf of the entire Fishing Canada crew, Outdoor Journal Radio podcast crew, we want to wish you and your family the happiest of the holiday seasons, a Merry Christmas, and an even happier New Year, if that is entirely possible. He's Nikki over there, Nikki V, who's been on and off all year. We've had we've had an interesting year that we will maybe talk about in the new season. But looking forward to getting back on the horse, as they say.
Absolutely.
Getting back to something
Normal. Something
relatively normal.
Yeah. They're never normal around here, right, boys?
No.
Just
Oh,
relatively
nothing's
normal.
ever normal. We're in. Look at my sweater right now. There's a cat on it smoking a cigarette.
How normal can that be?
How normal can
Well,
you really
in
get?
Nikki's world, it's pretty normal. I got to say.
Dean Taylor over here, who as usual has been the backbone of the crew all year long, regardless of which project we work on. Dean is always our.
Nick gets all the
Thank you.
accolades. Dean does all the work.
Thanks, baby. I appreciate it.
Dean is the, roll up your sleeves and get
He's
to
the
work
meat
kind
with
of
the
guy.
potatoes, that
That's
guy.
it. And of course, my wonderful partner of 40 years in the business, Peter Bowman.
Merry
who,
Christmas, everybody.
Wants to also get this year behind us.
Yeah.
And on to bigger
Move on.
and better things. I'm Angelo Viola. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for the great year. Let's stay in touch. All the best. Talk to you soon.
Ho, ho, ho.
This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio is brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Centre, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. JMB Cycle and Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment. And Silver Wax, absolute care for everything you drive.